Hello and welcome back to F1 Gamepad, and welcome to the very first episode of our My Team career mode here on F1 25. This is the first episode of hopefully a very long running series where we are going to start with our own team and go from nobodies to hopefully somebody's, zeros to heroes. That's the aim. So in My Team 2.0, you can either create your own team like you did in the past. This year you can also race as Connor Sport or Apex GP from the movie. Hey look, it's Brad Pitt. But we'll be choosing our own team, and this is now where you get to choose whether you have official drivers only, all the driver icons in there, or you choose the driver icons. I like some of them, so we're going to choose. And you can also, this is new, you can also get the AI teams to actually recruit the driver icons, or you can turn that off. I'm going to put that, instead of being often, I'm going to put that on sometimes. Am I going to put Aiden Jackson and Callie Mayer in? They're fictional characters, so I'm going to turn them off. I'm also going to turn the Apex GP guys off. Ayrton's not going in, Michael's not going in. No, we'll leave Jensen on because I still feel like you could put Jensen and Button in a car. Mika Hakkinen, let's take that off. Felipe Massa we'll leave on. We'll take off Matt Webber, David Coulthard, and we'll leave these on, including the esports drivers. We're not going to have... Let's not have all of them on. No, you know what? Let's leave those three on. Yeah. All right. Now, unfortunately, the sounds in this next part of the video got messed up with lots of reverb from my microphone. It's totally user error. I must have knocked a setting on the mic, and it's just really terrible to listen to. So I'm going to try to summarize this next part for you. First up, I had to create our team owner, and that was me right there. You just saw him walking into our brand new facility. Once inside, I met several members of our team who take me through step-by-step stages of choosing a background for our owner. I chose People Manager as I felt it reflected my own background better than the Head Engineer or Chief Financial Officer choices. But this is really a cool addition to the game. There are actually great explanations behind each personality type, and you get different perks depending on which ones you choose. Like I said, we chose People Manager, which gave us the perk of being able to motivate our workforce to complete facility upgrades quicker. And, you know, we're going to need those facility upgrades quick, fast, because as a new team entering into Formula 1, we are starting at the very basic level of investment in our facilities and absolute zero development on our car. This is a Road to Glory series after all, so we are right at the bottom of the pile to start with. I did, however, choose to start with some reserves of cash, as I feel that is probably a little bit more realistic to any team entering into Formula 1. You would need some kind of financial backing, some kind of financial buffer for, you know, just, I feel it would be foolish to enter with just like, I've plowed all of my money into this. Like, you know, I don't feel like in modern Formula 1 that would happen. Maybe I'm wrong. Next, I created our team identity and named our team. I chose our team colours and created our team badge. Then I chose our title sponsor, which is kind of a new feature in the game this year. You know, you get 3 to choose from, all different rewards attached to them. We ended up going with X-Formig, a fictional German company specialising in engineering of precision machinery for the industrial sector. These title sponsors have different objectives and rewards to aim for through the season, including loyalty bonuses that will unlock the longer you stay with them. That includes livery decals and even whole car liveries. Next, I landed in familiar territory for anyone who has played the original My Team before. I picked our engine supplier and we went for Mercedes. Then we chose our 2 drivers. Yeah, because this year we don't get to be an owner driver, we are just an owner. So you have to pick 2. I ended up opting for Victor Martins and Joshua Dirksen. I would have loved more choices here, but I understand from what I've seen you only get a limited number of driver choices at early doors, and these vary depending on what driver icons you choose to have in your save. Maybe one of our drivers can be a star for us this season. Let's hope so. Next up, it was time to design our car and race suits, but rather than show you that process too much, I'm going to hand over to Natalie Pinkham and Naomi Schiff as we launch our 2025 car. Apologies again for the sound here. In the next part, I tried to clean it up the best I could. Let's take a look at the car.
Hello and welcome to this very special live stream. Great to be with you all because today we're going to witness history.
That's absolutely right, Natalie, because for so many years we've wondered exactly what 11 teams would look like on the grid. Guess what? Today is the day we find out.
And we are here at the team's state-of-the-art HQ. We'll be seeing their brand new car very soon, but behind every team, behind every car, there's one person central to it all.
Yes, and they're a really popular character up and down the paddock with great energy and years of experience in managing people to success. The question is, how will they balance that arm around the shoulder approach, all whilst having to deliver performance on track?
We'll be seeing more behind the scenes as the season progresses, but of course it is all about what happens on track. So without further ado, let's see the fruits of their labour, the brand new 2025 car.
There she is.
Well, thank you all for joining us. The team have done an incredible job. The car looks sensational.
It certainly does. Congratulations and all the very best for the season ahead.
So there we have it, the 2025 Barden F1 car, and we are almost ready to go racing at the opening Grand Prix of the season in Australia. But first, here is the brand new My Team interface. I have to say, the amount of things to do here to manage your team is quite mind-blowing. You have different departments to manage and upgrade, staff to manage like your engineering department where you do all your R&D, and yes, you have to research each part and then develop them separately. Once those parts are manufactured, you have to assign them to one or both of your drivers. Catch is though, when you first start at the bottom level, you only have a single slot to work with, so you have to pick one driver or the other, effectively prioritizing their car over their teammates. Might cause a bit of tension between teammates later in the season, I think, if you keep doing that. I end up starting some research to redistribute the weight of our chassis while we're here. The other departments are personnel, which is your drivers and the rest of your workforce. Here you can open talks with other drivers to build up a rapport and potentially sign them later on. We do that by putting some early feelers out to the representatives of Franco Colapinto and Jack Doohan. And then you have your corporate department where you manage your title sponsor, finances, and customize your car and team. Here you can choose a livery and where the new decal editor is. There is a cost cap in this game now, so you've got to really watch what you spend. It really does matter. There's also your owner office where you can read emails, assign yourself some owner training, view your fan rating, performance, and past results. Activities are also in the game, like before, but unlike before, you can schedule them and overlap them. There are costs and benefits to each of these, but honestly, this is not just a step forward, it's an absolute leap. I can hardly believe there's so much to do and manage here. It kind of feels overwhelming when you first load up the game, but I love it. And you really can deep dive this if you really want to. I know I'm glossing over it, I'm kind of flying through it because I don't want this video to be, 2 hours long. It's a lot to sink your teeth into, and I feel like, if you've played My Team before, you will recognize some elements of it, but a lot of the elements are different this time around and way way more in depth. I will say this before we head to Melbourne and the opening race of the season, we did start developing our research parts in hope that they would be ready for the next race, but unfortunately one failed and the other got held up in research. We did a couple of facility upgrades as well. There are so many of these to do too, it's just staggering, really is. But now, after all of that, and I've glossed over it so much, and I encourage you, if you get the game, to really dig your teeth into it. But now, finally, it is time to pack up our stuff, the car, the team, and head to Melbourne for the opening Grand Prix of the 2025 season.
Nearly time to head to the track. Let me know which driver you'd like to follow this weekend. They'll get a bit of a boost from your presence. We'll keep tabs on the other driver while you're busy.
Hello and a very warm welcome to a brand new season in Formula One. It's 2025. We've got a four-time world champion joining the grid. Do we have 4 teams in the championship? There's certainly been convergence over the winter months and plenty to look forward to before the huge regulation change in 2026. Now is all about free practice. Let's get straight into it in FP1.
Hey mate, this is Mark. This is going to be a good year. We're going to have a great time together, and obviously the team are brand new, so I've set everything up from scratch. Let's make the big boss happy and show that we're not just here on the grid to make up the numbers, alright?
So out we go for our very first lap in the Barden F1 car in practice here at Albert Park in Melbourne. Yeah, so as you can see here, we completed the race strategy program and did pretty well. First lap we dropped time, of course, but the rest of the laps we really got dialed in and kind of felt pretty good actually. In the practice programs we finished quite high as well, so I did adjust the difficulty and I popped it up to 100 AI. Not wanting to be unrealistic in this first season, we are literally the worst car on the grid and we should be performing as such.
Okay, test complete, and that was a really good job indeed. We got a lot of valuable information out of that. Well done.
Resource points gathered after practice though, decent total there, and we will continue on into qualifying.
And a warm welcome everybody, we're here in the heart of Melbourne. It's Albert Park and it's qualifying for the Australian Grand Prix.
So we round the final corner and we head on to our very first flying lap. And that is a 1:20.3. Not too bad for our first flying lap, but here we go on our second run, and we do manage to improve by a couple of tenths, but we use another set of brand new tyres because, as you can see here, we're in P19, which is not going to be good enough to get into Q2, so I decided to bolt on my third set of brand new tyres to see if we could do something and get ourselves into Q2. But it all goes wrong in the first corner, and that's going to be qualifying over for us.
And that's just 30 seconds left in the session.
So we're out in Q1. Along with our teammate who doesn't also make it, we qualify in P20 with Joshua Dirksen in P22. So we're going to have some work to do there in the race. Back of the grid though, as you can see, we're in amongst it, but let's head to the Grand Prix.
The winter is over. It's time for Formula One 2025. Yes, that long break that you've all been coping with so well can now be put to the back of your minds. It's on-track action and it's off-track drama. That's what we're looking forward to. The Melbourne circuit is certainly one that needs to be taken seriously. It's a combination of slippery surfaces and difficult corners, making it a very tricky track when it comes to overtaking. Drivers find it hard to pass and will need to take full advantage of those DRS zones if they want to have any hope of breaking through. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Lando Norris lines up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Piastri, Leclerc, and Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Russell, Sainz, Ocon, Fernando Alonso, and Alex Albon, Lawson, Antonelli, Nico Hülkenberg, and Stroll, Bortoletto, Doohan, Yuki Tsunoda, and Ollie Behrman, Hadjar, Martins, Gasly, and Joshua Dirksen completes the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. So I'm sure there'll be plenty to talk about this afternoon, and who's going to talk about it with us? None other than Naomi Schiff. Hi, Naomi. New season, new dawn, and now 22 cars and 11 teams on the grid.
First of all, this is such an exciting time. I mean, to have an 11th team on the grid is exciting news for the sport. But for them today, I guess you would be really nervous. It's the first time you're going to be doing this. There is so much to learn. But at the end of the day, they've got to remember that expectations aren't that high. They've all been there before. They've all had their first race, and no one is expecting them to land on the top of the podium. So just learn to walk before you can run.
Okay, this is going to take a monumental effort from you. I need you to push incredibly hard if we're going to get a good result today. Let's go and make it happen.
Yes, that's true. A monumental effort is going to be needed. Strategy-wise, I'm torn here. Looks like high tyre wear for us, but we just check out the rest of the grid, really, and it looks like there's a mix of strategies, but mostly either people are starting on the mediums or the hards. Apart from Pierre Gasly there, starting on the softs, doing something a little bit different. I consider that for a little bit. Maybe we could do a 3-stop, but maybe just go a lap more on the fuel and try to do 2 and then see how it goes from there. We make our way to the grid on the formation lap, getting ready for our very first Grand Prix. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go, and it's a good start. We get off the line really, really, really well compared to some of the AI there. We get boxed in a little bit by Tsunoda, and first corner we get a touch on the back of Doohan, and this could be awkward now. That might be slight front wing damage. We get a little warning there as we get all squirrely on that corner. We're going to have a look down. No, Gasly blocks us off there. We just have to sit in for a little bit, but very, very good start. The AI battling. and we are up a position, and that's us up into P19. Rounding the corner on the end of our first lap, we are still behind Gasly with Behrman following up in the rear.
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
Just checking for Behrman here, and as we're lining something up on Gasly, but we're just too far back. We're too far back now, and we're going to have to be patient and just sit in.
Tyre condition still looking good.
Heading on to lap 3 now, and as you can see, we're still behind Gasly in P19, but this time I'm going to try to line him up into this corner. I'm a little bit closer than I was before, and I'm down the inside of Gasly, and we get the move done, and that's us up into P18. His teammate Jack Doohan just up the road. So far, I think we're having a decent run here.
Good job, nice overtake.
We clip the wall there, and that's not very neat. And then we get this all wrong, go off, pick up some gravel, and it allows Gasly back through, so all of our good work kind of undone right there. And we do, thankfully, still have DRS to keep on the back of Gasly. Here we see the front runners here, Norris battling there with Verstappen and Leclerc not too far behind. And we're coming into this corner, and looks like Norris is going to take a move and move up into P1 as he gets past Max Verstappen, and Leclerc, as you can see, sniffing around the back there, looking to try to, pounce on any mistake that these drivers might make. But it's Lando Norris currently leading this race. And here we have Leclerc. Maybe he'll have a go into turn 1. He's very, very close to Verstappen, following very, very close. He has DRS, so does Verstappen, but I don't think he's close enough into turn 1, as these three are just setting the pace early doors. It looks like Lewis Hamilton in P4, George Russell P5, Piastri P6. Another opportunity for Leclerc, as Max locks up there, but no. Leclerc, he gets squirrely, and Leclerc is still chasing him on. This is a battle that's probably quite realistic at the moment, actually, with the Ferrari just off the pace of the Red Bull and the McLaren, but we have a race on our hands up front. Leclerc, I think, started P4 in this race, and yeah, I think both of them would be happy in real life for this, but he's got DRS and he's a lot closer to Max here, so maybe he can make a move into this turn here, but he doesn't. He sits behind, he tucks up, and he's going to get a second dosing of DRS, and maybe, just maybe, Max is going to get overtaken in the same place as he did the previous lap, but no, Max holds on. Rejoining our race now on lap 4, the end of lap 4 going in, and we've got a familiar sight of the rear of the Alpine of Gasly and Behrman a lot closer now, only a couple of tenths off us and trying to get us down into the turn 1, but we're a lot closer to Gasly now. We are really putting pressure on Pierre Gasly here. Maybe we're going to look into doing the same move as we did before. We're down the inside, but we're also down the inside of Jack Doohan. That's 2 Alpines in one move, and they will not like that at the French team as we get up the road after Sonoda. Lap 5 now, and we are still chasing Sonoda, and unfortunately we haven't been able to shake those Alpines. Doohan is still behind us, and he's going to have DRS, and we do not have DRS. Can he get us? Can we defend it? Is it possible? He's going to take a move. Oh, and we clipped the wall, but we just managed to hold off Doohan, and that was a little hairy there. I thought we were going to actually crash out of the race, but we held on to P17. and Tsunoda is battling with Bartoletto up front, so that might give us a sniff of a chance to get DRS here. And Tsunoda does actually get past Bartoletto into that tricky second to last corner, and we are just out of DRS range, and that means we're going to be under pressure from Pierre Gasly on this lap into turn 1. He's going to have a look. He's going to do more than that. He flies past us into turn 1, but we are not giving that position up. Oh my goodness, we almost crashed. Oh my god. That was a little hairy, I have to say. I thought we were going to take ourselves and Gasly out of the race, but we don't. We hold on. Lap 7 here, but it's the same old story. Gasly looking for a way around us, and we are holding on with all our might. I'm actually feeling these medium tyres start to slip away from us, but Gasly is keeping those softs alive, and he's going to have a move into this corner. He's going to have a look, or have we just done enough? We go defensive, and we have just done enough. But he's going to have a run and DRS on that back straight, and the good news for us is we are close enough to Bartoletto to actually pick up some DRS, which might just be enough to hold Gasly off into this first corner. But we are already struggling on tyres. I am feeling it, and it is just not a great third sector for us usually, but we do have a good first sector, and here we see Bartoletto trying to get round Stroll, but he doesn't, and we are going to pick up a second dosing of DRS. Can we get Bartoletto into this corner? I think we're a little bit too far back to do that, and Gasly too far back to make a move on us. Well, it's been breathtaking. I think we're actually holding our own in this race, but these tyres are really not feeling good right now, and I am very, very worried every single DRS zone that comes up that Gasly's still on our tail, that we are going to make one little mistake with these tyres and Gasly's going to get us, and we do get a little bit of oversteer there, and it is going to present another opportunity to Pierre Gasly to try to take us down this straight. We try to hug the inside. We say, go around the outside then, son, go around the outside. He doesn't, and we hold on to the position, almost cut the corner there, but we somehow survive, and as you can see, Bartoletto has actually got past Lance Stroll, and we now are going to have an opportunity to put some pressure on the Aston Martin. Looks like Doohan might have a look on us on here on lap 9. We do get a warning for exceeding track limits, but I actually didn't even realise, but Pierre Gasly actually pitted, and his teammate was the one on our tail there. End of lap 9 now, coming this final corner, and guess what? Jack Doohan pits, so we've got a little bit of a reprieve here. A couple of pitters up front as well, which moves us up the standings a little bit into P15, and as we head on to lap 10, we now have Hajar on our tail.
The pit window now, and you're going to be on hards next time.
It's going to have a look into turn 1, but we don't quite. He doesn't quite get it, but yeah, it's at least not an Alpine, but it is somebody else. As you can see, just a little bit further back there, we were looking at our tyres, and they are getting very, very warm. Thank goodness we are almost at the pit window, because yeah, we are really struggling. You can definitely feel the tyre wear in this game much more than 24. And Hajar, as you can see, is within half a second of us. And within half a second of him is Esteban Ocon in the pass car. So we are now definitely falling back into the pack. And Hajar is only 2/10, and he's going to have DRS. And we are vulnerable here. And Isaac Hajar in the V cab just glides past us like we're not there.
Make a mistake.
And we are also under massive pressure from Esteban Ocon into this corner, as he's going to have a look around the outside of us. And he is trying to take us into this corner. We try to hold it, but he just is later on the brakes from us. And I get it all wrong, and I have broken my front wing. Decide, as the tyres are feeling like absolute crap, I'm diving in to the pit lane here. But I don't tell my team I'm going to do that, unfortunately, so they're not really ready with that front wing. And it looks like they're just going to change our tyres, and that is an early stop for us. We really needed a couple more laps to make this one stop work, and oh, we've got a problem on the front left. I don't actually believe it. Oh, that's a slow stop, 4.7. That is not good for us. and we are now going
Seems
to
to have been a bit of a problem removing the left front wheel. We need to try and put that behind us though and finish the race strong.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem for us. We have a long way to go on those high tyres, and tyre wear on this game is chronic for us right now in this car. And we are P22 right now as our teammate dives into the pits.
Stop now.
Esteban Ocon's moving a little bit slowly there. Oh yeah, he's pulling over to the side of the road, and that's it. I think Esteban Ocon is out of this race on lap 15, no more. I wonder if that was anything to do with our collision with him. I hope not. I don't want to cause any other driver to be out of the race. Absolutely. We're already struggling enough with this front wing. And yeah, but Esteban Ocon out of this race, which means we're not going to finish last.
Caution, caution.
And there he is, parked on the side of the road as we pass him.
Incident in the next part of the track. No overtaking through the yellow flags. Okay, clear.
And then we go on to lap 18 here as we round the final corner. It's been a familiar view for us, but nobody's really in sight apart from Isaac Hajar again, and he breezes past us even easier than the first time. My goodness, we are struggling in this race now. Our wing is causing us a lot of understeer, but I don't know, after that pit, I just feel like if we change it, it's not too bad. I can probably get away with it. I'm just trying to focus on trying to be kind to these tyres and not really rip them up, and see if we can get to the end of the race on these set. Lap 18, and Max Verstappen here, as you can see, is out in the lead. He's actually cruising. He's quite far back from Leclerc, but he actually dives into the pits to make what I believe is his first pit stop of this race. And Leclerc will inherit the lead of the race. We ourselves here are heading on to lap 21, and as you can see, this time it's our teammate who's on another set of hards that is actually taking us down the inside, but again we managed to brake a little bit later than him into turn 1. But I don't know, Joshua's closed about a 5-second gap to us in the last few laps, and we are not. Our pace is not good at the moment in this stint. I don't know if it's the front wing that's affecting us, it's just because I'm trying to manage my tyres. I don't know what it is at the moment, but we just have no pace whatsoever in this race. Almost clipped the wall there. We might have actually touched it, and Joshua's going to have a really good opportunity coming into this next DRS straight. The one thing about this new Australia layout, and can we really call it new, it's been here for a few years now, there is a lot of opportunity for overtaking and racing, and as you can see, he is going round the outside of us, and he is going to make this move stick. He moves up into P16, and we are just bleeding positions at the moment.
Okay, the pit window's open, so let's box this lap. Box this lap.
Can't say I'm going to be absolutely upset to get rid of these tyres, but before then we have a familiar pair of the Alpines pressurising us. It's Gasly now trying to do the same thing as our teammate did around the outside. This is going to be tight. We just hold on to the position. I thought we were going to crash again. We are having a real battle with the Alpines at the moment, which is, I mean, causing me heart palpitations, but we are actually just about holding on to our position here as we are about to, at the end of lap 22, dive into the pits for our second stop. I am absolutely 100% crossing everything that I have, but we have a better stop than we did last time. This is going to put us right at the back, but hopefully this new set of tyres we can do something with. I just couldn't get them to the end. I couldn't manage them to the end, and tyre wear is definitely a thing in this My Team car. Well, that stop was a lot better than the first one at 2.5. It's more like it, but yeah.
Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
Yeah, our wing is still broken, so we might still be struggling. Taking a look at Max Verstappen here on lap 24. He's closing in on Oscar Piastri, and he's going to do a very familiar move into this corner where he inherits P4 from Oscar. Now he's going to try to get down the road after Lewis Hamilton. As you can see, the only person behind us on this lap is Ocon, who is out of the race. So we are dead last, P21, 16 seconds off the next car of Bortoleto, and we are really, really struggling here. I'm trying to put as fast a laps in as I can on these soft tyres, and the grip does feel better. To be honest, it does feel really nice, but I know they're not going to last.
And gap to the car in front, 15.7 seconds.
You know, we are gaining a little bit, but only by marginal amounts as we're trying to put... I think this was actually the fastest lap that I actually did in this race. It was on these soft tyres, really, really pushing. I don't know. I just felt all I had to do was push. I had nothing to lose. If I ended up crashing out of the race, because it didn't matter.
No issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care.
We haven't had them on long, so I'm glad of that. Mark, heading into this corner, as you can see, 2 personal bests, and we are still pushing to do. But oh, we've got Max Verstappen is out of the session. Max Verstappen, what's happened there then? As we round the final corner, we're going to see a replay of that hopefully and see what's going on with Max. But yeah, Max Verstappen now out of the race as we cross the line, and it's a 1:23.1. But here we are, a little bit ago with Max Verstappen. He's heading down the straight, doing pretty well, chasing after Hamilton in P3. And his engine's popped. His engine's popped, and Max Verstappen in the Red Bull is out of this race. My goodness. We have had a couple of retirements here, my God. And the depression and the sadness continues for us as we get blue flags for the leader, Charles Leclerc, who we let pass there. And we're going to get blue flags again for Lando Norris.
Adjust your ERS mode in your MFD.
Yes, Mark. I don't think it matters if I run hot laps and add infinite battery. It's not really going to help me in this race. As Lando Norris now, we're going to have to cede the position to Lando Norris, and well, never great when you're lapped by the leaders, but here we are. Well, it's not just me struggling here, as my teammate is about to be passed by my nemesis in this race, Pierre Gasly. He's doing his best to fight it wheel to wheel, but it's just inevitable, isn't it? His tyres are starting to go off now, as he's doing also, I think, a one stop. He is trying his best to hold on to those tyres, though, unlike us, who just dived into the pits for a set. But, you know, he's passed by 2 there. I think, actually, Behrman got past him at the same time. My goodness. Or did he get past Behrman? I'm not really sure. He gets really squirrely there, and he's under pressure from Doohan now in the Alpine. And, oh, This has been a tough first Grand Prix after a good start. It's really been a tale of 2 halves for us, but yeah, it looks like Doohan going down the inside of Dirksen, and yeah, we have conceded the place there. He's down to P18 with Bortoleto going to be putting some pressure on him here on lap 27. It's only a matter of time, I think. He's going to have to cede that position too, but yeah, here he is, and it's the very next lap, and here comes Bartoletto. He's all over the back, and he's been able to hang on despite dirty air. He's been able to hang on to the back of our teammate, which just shows you how hard this race has been on the tyres for us. We are going to continue our fall back to the back of the grid as Bartoletto makes the move on our teammate and moves up into P18, leaving us P19 and P20 respectively. Meanwhile, up front, last lap of the race, Charles Leclerc out in a league of his own. Norris trying his best to claw that lead back, but it's not going to work. It's going to be the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc as he rounds the final corner that wins the race. The Monegasque taking all the points today here in Melbourne as he finishes and wins the race with Norris in P2. That means on lap 28 for us, as we are lapped, that is the race all over for us as we finish where we started in P20.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
P20, but P20 is dead last. 2 retirements as Yuki Tsunoda wins the driver of the day. Absolutely frustrating, but where do we expect to be?
Charles Leclerc, what a drive, what a victory, he wins!
Well, they kept us guessing during pre-season testing. We all wondered who it was going to be, and to have them drawn out here today, that they are the ones to beat, just goes to show that all the work they put in has really counted.
It's what every driver imagines when they start out on their long road towards Formula One. And for our lucky 3 today, here's the podium waiting for them. And that is a fabulous win. And the top step of the podium for Charles Leclerc. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time out? Be sure to join us once again as we continue to bring you all the excitement of Formula One.
And there you have it. Charles Leclerc finishing first from 4th on the grid. Lando Norris did come in 2nd place and set the fastest lap of the race, with Lewis Hamilton in 3rd, Oscar Piastri in 4th, George Russell in 5th, Alexander Albon, Yuki Tsunoda, Carlos Sainz, Nico Hülkenberg and Kimi Antonelli rounding up the top 10. As for us, we are plumb last in P19 for Joshua Dirksen and P20 for us. We didn't move forward, we didn't move back, but P20 is last in this case as Max Verstappen and Esteban Ocon retire. Let's take a look at the standings. Charles Leclerc, top of the pile as you see there with 25 points. Lando Norris in 2nd place. Lewis Hamilton will be happy in the Ferrari in 3rd place. And of course, these are just the positions they finished in the race. Let's take a look at the constructors standings. And of course, Ferrari top of the pile, 10 points in the lead of McLaren, who in 2nd place. Williams in 3rd for now. Mercedes 4th place. And Red Bull in 5th. So that's it for this week's video. Race over, frustrating one, but you know, we've got a long way to go, a lot of things to do and a lot to build on. If you have enjoyed it, and I hope you have, despite the frustrating finish, please leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And you know, we'll head into China and hoping for more, hoping for upgrades, hoping for a better performance. Until next time, everybody, I'll leave you with some highlights of the race. Take care of yourself. Bye bye now.
One shot to the head, I need a blank space. 'Cause everything is a threat, but I never back wanna sink or swim, I'm gonna go down swinging. Look deep within, I get lost in the feeling. I just need a win. I'm going off, I know it's time to make a change, and I can take the pain. You wanna sink or swim, I'm gonna go down swinging. Look deep within, I get lost in the feeling. I just need a win. I'm gonna find my meaning, I can make a change. I wanna play the game.